Welcome to the Unfiltered Sports Network's flagship show. Welcome to Podcast Night in America with Todd, Randy, James, and Carlos. Here at the USN, we believe in keeping it real and telling it like it is. No more are the days of sugarcoating or ESPN-style politically correct takes. No. This is the place where real sports fans gather to talk about the stuff that truly matters. From the latest headlines, transactions, to controversial news, we've got you covered. Come join us as we dive into the unfiltered world of sports, where passion meets authenticity. So hit that like and subscribe button for more raw, honest, and uncensored discussions that will leave you craving for more. This is the Unfiltered Sports Network, where real sports fans talk about real shit.
Hey, welcome into Unfiltered Sports Network with your host, Todd Fox. We got Randy Yaz, we got Skull Zone in the house, and North Jet from Detroit. We're going to be talking divisional series games. We'll recap, and then we're also going to get into a few other topics, and then preview the big Final Four in the NFL, the championship weekend. So let's get it started, boys. What do you want to touch on first?
I say we touch on some of these divisional games from this past week. How about Packers, 49ers. Let's start it off there.
All right. Well, Packers, 49ers. This one was a doozy. This one was a throwback to how it used to be. Green Bay, Brett Favre, Steve Young, going back and forth. But this was Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy had been getting a lot of criticism going into this one, guys. But what happened was it wasn't really him at first. It was that whole dreaded layoff. They had that 1 week off, not playing the final week of the season, getting the bye, being well rested. The Packers coming in playing with house money, nothing to lose. And it went back and forth. Great game. Looked like the Packers were going to get put away after Brock Purdy gave them the lead. They get the run back. The fumble goes their way. Everything is in there just working right. But then at the end, when Jordan Love can put his stamp as a playoff quarterback, if he didn't already get it against Dallas, he does the cardinal sin and throws back across his body. Who wants to take first shot at this?
Dude, I mean, it's quarterback 101, dude. Like, unless that's part of your game and it has been for most of your career, you don't fucking throw that ball, dude. And first of all, even if you're not throwing it across your body, there's like 2 or 3 fucking defenders right there, bro. Like, that's just a stupid, moronic fucking throw to make, man. I tell you what, if a Jets quarterback or Zach Wilson made that fucking throw, we'd be ripping his ass to high hell, brother. Let me tell you.
Well, I mean, he was just like, he rolled out to the right and threw it right across his body. And like you said, there was 2 defenders there. There was DJ Greenlaw who picked it off. Like, the linebacker picked it off. You know what I mean? So it was a very, very bad throw. They had a chance to win it. Like, they were in the game the entire game. Like, I think it was Gronkowski said that they were leading the game for 58 minutes and they blew it. You know what I mean? They had it and they just lost it. And that pick was crucial. And, Jordan Love had a really, really good first year for the Packers. So shout out to him.
Yeah, Jordan Love. In that game, Jordan Love looked like a mixture of Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre right there. He was throwing it like Aaron Rodgers off the back of his foot, and then he also threw those crazy passes like Brett Favre. There were some good passes where he threw some of his receivers wide open. I can't remember the receiver that it was, but the guy was like in a Bermuda Triangle of defenders, and he threw his wide receiver open. So it's a good thing for Green Bay Packers fans to have that quarterback to watch and groom for the next however many years. He's about to get paid like somewhere in the realms of $50 million a year. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but Aaron Jones, he stuck out, and I think I keep going back to Aaron Jones being the lead back only because he looked really good because he had like basically a whole entire season off. So like the playoffs were like basically like week 1, week 2 for him. So he was a fresh running back. Christian McCaffrey did his thing. George Kittle scored a touchdown. And then Brock Purdy, he looked pretty sluggish, man. But that's what you get. That's what you get out of Mr. Irrelevant. Somebody that hasn't been drafted.
Well, a couple of things I want to ask you guys about too is the fact that Brock Purdy got away with 2 interceptions early in that game that could have turned the tide. One of them could have been ran back. And then the second thing is it a cause for concern that Green Bay, they literally didn't touch Jordan Love all game. There was no pass rush for the 49ers. And then Green Bay's offensive line really impressed me in this one. Any other thoughts about that or anything else that you guys took away from the game?
What's up with Green Bay's tight ends, bro? They drafted like two tight ends, and they haven't got them really involved, bro. They're getting all the wide receivers involved, and why are they not involved in the tight ends? I don't know if you guys got any anything that you guys want to cover on that, but the tight ends, like other than the injury to the one or two tight ends, why are they not getting more involved?
Because it's not a focal point in that offense. It hasn't.
Why did they draft them then?
For blocking purposes, to be honest. They don't run a fullback offense, so they'll use a fullback coming in motion on a sweep, or they'll use one just to have a 6-man to protect against a blitz.
Matt LaFleur, man, I'm a Viking fan, but I got to give credit where credit is due. Matt LaFleur is doing a hell of a job with that team. A whole bunch of question marks. The first half of the season, they looked like they were just like under 500, underachieving team. But then in the second half of the season, they looked like a complete opposite team. They put a beat down on my Vikings in Minnesota, a complete total 180 from what we did to them in the earlier parts of the season. I mean, Green Bay's on the uprise, man. I think I know I'm taking it away to the Vikings, but we're looking up at all the other teams in the division. But the 49ers did what they had to do. As long as Deebo Samuel can play this upcoming week, I think the 49ers could represent the NFC.
What do you guys take?
I just think the Niners, having that extra week off, I always think when you have that extra week off, I think it comes back to bite you in the butt in some way. It doesn't mean you're not necessarily going to lose the game. But the fact that, like you said, Todd, the fact that the Niners couldn't get to Jordan Love, which has kind of been their bread and butter all year, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Luckily they got that offense. They got enough power on offense, that they score enough points. They average I think it's like 30-something points a game throughout the regular season. So, Brock Purdy can afford to make some of those mistakes. To be honest with you, that just might be the kind of player he is. You're probably going to get you might get the 1 or 2 interceptions here, every other game or so, but he's going to throw you 30+ touchdowns, especially when you got that kind of talent on the outside. You got Deebo Samuel, who hopefully is playing this week, because without him, oh man, the Niners are in trouble without him, brothers.
You said it, Randy, about how the Niners can get to Jordan Love, and I think that's going to be in play this week, because the Lions' offensive line is one of the best offensive lines in football. And if you guys, I'm sure you guys obviously watched that game, and Jared Goff was dealing, man. There was no pressure on him whatsoever. And Jared Goff's that kind of quarterback. He's good enough that if you give him time, he's going to make you pay. And he made the Buccaneers defense paid. He was cooking in the entire game. It seemed like their offense was moving the ball every drive, something that me and Randy don't know fuck all about. So, I don't know, man. I know we're not really talking about that game, but this Packers game, Jordan Love made great plays, and like I said, he wasn't under pressure as well. So, for a young quarterback to step up in that situation and go up against that good of a defense and performing the way he did, he did throw 2 bad picks, but his first season leading him to the divisional round, and they lost to potentially the Super Bowl champion in the 49ers. He needs his credit too. So,
absolutely. They got nothing to be ashamed of. Last 2 things I'll take out of this is 2 things for me. I felt like Randy said, or I don't know if his Northjet said, but they were winning for the 80% of the game, 90% of the game. Should have had it. Yeah. I felt that drive when you had the big run by Jones to get into about the 25-yard line before they missed the field goal. Had they scored a touchdown there was about maybe 6 and change left. That would have put all the pressure on the Niners. You could have pinned your ears back and went after Purdy, or just played coverage and let him run down the clock, and you would have won. You would have won right there. And then I still felt that they were going to win with the time they had, the 2 timeouts. And the thing, I'm not even a Packer fan, but that hurt me as a fan, because I'm like, dude, we just got cheated out of seeing something really spectacular that could have happened. Love could have pulled that out, or at least tied the game. But, he had the right side of the field wide open just to throw it away, live to play another down. That's why I was so anal about it, because I was like, man, dude, what could have been?
That's that young quarterback, first time in the postseason type of play right there, dude.
Since we're talking about that,
that'll haunt him. I guarantee you that'll haunt him for the
that
whole
reminded me of 2009, or was it 2010? I think it was
2009. NFC Championship game, the Vikings, Brett Favre to Sidney Rice gets picked off.
Border.
Yeah,
I had to say something, bro.
That's why I'm saying the Brett Favre and them came out, man. The Brett Favre. I got a question for all three of you guys, man. Should the Packers bring back Aaron Jones, or do you think, like what I said a little while ago, Aaron Jones was just a fresh running back?
I think you would bring him back. But my thing is the whole Jordan Love question you asked earlier. I forgot to touch on that. I got to see more before I give him a max contract. I'm sorry. I got to see more. He's got to do this for another season.
Yeah. I mean,
where do they go if they don't sign him, though? Like, are they going to take a chance on a rookie quarterback? I think they should sign him, bro. Like,
but you can't max him out, though. You're killing the cap and you're killing your roster.
They got a young roster.
That's going to be tough because I'm sure the kid's going to want to get paid. He's like, man, I've been sitting here for 3 years. I just led this team to the playoff when people didn't think we were going to make the play. Watch you watch, dude.
I'll ask you guys another question. Look, all three of our teams need a quarterback. Would you guys take Jordan Love with what you've seen so far?
Fuck yeah.
There you go.
Randy, that's not even a question. Well, I mean, okay, like at the beginning of the year, yeah, it was like we have Aaron Rodgers right now, but yeah, like other than over Zach Wilson, what we've had is 100%.
Well, in about 15 years, Jordan Love's going to be our quarterback, so don't worry about it.
Exactly. It's going to come full fucking circle again, bro. I cannot wait.
I'm surprised you guys didn't get Bart Starr back in the day.
Oh boy.
How do you know we didn't?
Exactly.
Bart Starr.
All right, so we touched on that game. Big win for the Niners. Packers did what they had to do and showed up more than we gave them credit. So kudos to them.
Hey, real quick, Packers, as mediocre as they kind of were through the regular season, kind of up and down, they kind of proved, like we always say, Todd, we used to say this on Heedy a lot, still do to this day, that when you get in the postseason, it's a whole different ball game, man. And the Packers look like a totally different team compared to what they did in the regular season, man. And credit to Skullzone to what he said. Aaron Jones, man. He just fresh set of legs, man. He looked like a vicious back these last 2 games, man. He looked like a different player.
Oh yeah, and last thing I'll say too is me and Carlos have been saying, like, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We were talking about the Eagles. Me and Carlos never believed in the Eagles one bit. We knew that
they lived into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, we knew that whole Super Bowl hangover was going to come into play at some point, and it
them and the fucking Dolphins.
Does it not feel good watching Nick Sirianni get humbled though?
A little bit.
Shit, not me. A lot for me.
Well, let's move on to the next game, which we're going to stay in the NFC. So even though they played on different days, but we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Bucks. I know North Jet touched on it, and it's relevant to this game, obviously. The Detroit Lions, first time anyone's ever said it, boys. NFC Championship for the Detroit Lions. Unbelievable. Right?
Wow. What reality did we fucking wake up in?
Man, you guys have no idea because, like,
what do you mean? I'm 40 years old and I've never seen a play in the
Yeah, but Randy, I'm from the area. So I've been seeing Lions fans. I've followed them my entire life. I was there when they were 0-16. Like, bro, like to hear these talk shows talk about the Lions potentially going to the Super Bowl, it's like fucking hell froze over, bro. Like, it's the weirdest shit ever to hear. And like, I mean, we're not going to talk about it right now, but like, let's talk about this game. But, like I said, their offense looked really good, man. And I know they got a little bit of dinged up on the offensive line, but I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to win the game against the Niners, but I think they're going to put up a fight. Like, the Buccaneers aren't the best team, but, Baker had a really good year. So the defense played good against him. I think he had 2 interceptions. I know it's CJ Gardner. Oh, yeah, he did. I think 2 or 3. I know he threw the one to CJ Gardner, and then he threw the one at the end. Yeah, the tipped one. And then, so, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The Lions really impressed me in this game. Their offense moved the ball really well. Defense played good. And, yeah, I just, like I said, I'm from the Detroit area. So to see the Lions doing what they're doing, especially after they only had like 3 wins, like 3 years ago. So, like, it's pretty fucking crazy to see.
Yeah, I mean, I give all the credit in the world to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Nobody in the fucking world had those guys winning probably more than 5-6 games, let alone the division. So, I mean, they got a lot of decisions to make. I mean, they got Mike Evans, who's a free agent. What do they do with Baker? So
they're gonna re-sign Baker for sure.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's
They'd
a lot
be
of money.
fucking-
There's a lot of money that needs to be thrown around over there,
I think they'd be dumb
but
not to after the season he had with them.
the Lions. If if a lot of people who watch the show watch the One Jets pod, the Lions has been one of those teams whose bandwagon I've been on all year. I mean, I've been praising that team since they beat Kansas City week 1, dude. There's just something about that team. Dan Campbell, ever since their Hard Knock episode, I've just fallen in love with Dan Campbell. He's a hell of a fucking football coach, dude. He is a football coach. I mean, to the fucking T, man. He's got that team playing like no one's business. He's got that city believing, dude. I mean, the Lions are special. The Lions are special, and they're going to be special for a long time. So, Skull Zone, get ready. It's going to be a long time before the Lions are bad again, brother.
Yeah, I agree with that one, man. I just like North Jet said, yeah, I feel good for the Lions altogether, but man, something inside me, I can't accept it, man. Like the Detroit Lion fans that I've come across, because I'm like 45 minutes away from Detroit. I'm right here in Toledo. Some of these Lion fans around here in this area, man, I can't stand them, man. So I'm hell bent. I don't want to see them succeeding anymore. If they win a Super Bowl this year before the Vikings win a Super Bowl, I'm gonna cry, bro. I'm gonna be just the only team in the
You're telling me, man. Half of my friends are Lions fans, so I got to deal with it. Like it's I said, it'd be a crazy story, but it's like fuck them. But
man. Yeah. It's like I got one friend that I like as a Lions fan, but everybody else could go play in some lava, man. Nothing but shitbag ass fans, man. I was surprised that Dirty Kirby Joseph didn't pop any knees, man. I was willing to put some money on the line, but they kept him out. I don't know if you guys noticed that Kirby Joseph got kept out of key situations because they didn't want him to get labeled as a dirty player, man. How do you guys feel about him? You guys think that he's a dirty player, Kirby Joseph, or do you think it's just part of the game? Because I think he's dirty. Like, there's been plenty of examples of how you can make, low tackles, like wrap around the legs. This dude just dive bombs at the knees, man. I think that this dude is a dirty player.
Well, I mean, there's literally film to prove it, and even like Stafford said, I don't know if everybody saw that NFL Films clip of him, but he's like, "Hey, that was a good tackle, but it was dirty." He's like, "You're a dirty player," and he's like, "There's film of it," and that's literally what he said to him on the field. So, you know what I mean? But then again, like he's a smaller guy, he's a DB, and he's tackling a tight end. Like, don't get me wrong, I played DB, so I know how hard it is to tackle tight ends, but to tackle the way he does, he's going for their ankles. So, like, you know what I mean? I feel like he's a dirty player, but, you're just trying to play football. But there is different ways you could tackle. Wrap up around the thigh, like, hip tackle. Like, there's definitely other ways to make tackles.
I agree 100%.
Baker Mayfield, I think he's going to get a contract extension for sure, because where does Tampa go from there? Unless they want to rely on Kyle Trask. Not sure they want to go down that road. They need a running back, man. Like, they need a solid running back. Other than that, their offense looks pretty good, and their defense could only get better. And I was surprised that, what's his name? Devin White, right? That's the number 45 for Tampa Bay. He's getting replaced by a younger linebacker. So that's pretty good for Tampa Bay right there. Back-to-back division titles in the NFC South. I mean, hey, it's their division to lose next year. Detroit's looking pretty good, like Randy said, and North Jet has a bunch of Lion fans that are feeding them that information too. But is there a lot of – because one thing that I want to know, man, since you live in the area, because I remember when I lived out in L.A., when the Lakers were going to the finals like year after year and all that, there would be like championship flags all over like the cars, and you would see people walking around with like Laker jerseys on. Is it like that in downtown Detroit and all that, or is it just like whatever type feel?
I mean – I haven't really been to downtown Detroit yet I have been there, but not in a while. But like I said, I'm right across the board. I can literally see Detroit from my apartment. So it's the same thing over here. They're going fucking crazy right now. And like there's Lions fans that are coming out of the fucking woodwork that I've never seen root for Lions before. And it's just, I think that's the one thing that pisses me off. Cause it's like, yo, guys, like I get you're rooting for the hometown team, but it's like, man, don't say you're a fan when you don't know, you can't name the fucking name of the starting quarterback 2 years ago.
Hey, real quick before we move on, while we're on Tampa Bay and running games and stuff like that, can I make a bold prediction right here, right now, on the USN? Free agency. I'm calling it right here.
Oh God.
Austin Eckler end up a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
I could see that.
Calling it right here.
If
they need a running game, man. They need a running game. They're going to keep Baker and they're going to try to keep Evans. They got to put a running back there, man.
Saquon Barkley,
him or Saquon, yeah.
I got a feeling with Tony Pollard, a fucking free agent. I got a feeling Saquon's going to end up in Dallas, and I got a feeling Derrick Henry's going to end up in Houston.
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way, guys. Look, Jordan Love made some really good, and to go back on him real quick is because I got to point to this. He made those receivers like Aaron Rodgers look good that were nobodies, rookies, young guys. And Baker, to an extent, got saved a lot by Evans. And some of those younger guys did step up for him too. But my concern with both of those quarterbacks, especially Baker, is that when we did our prediction show, it would almost be like a 1 week on for him, 1 week off, where he's getting sacked, holding the ball too much. The offense was stagnant, and Tampa Bay struggled. That's why they finished 9-8 too.
Sure.
I don't know about giving him a big contract, man. I'm leery about both those quarterbacks. I like what Todd Bowles did, but it's going to come down to me for Tampa. Do you sign an extension for Mayfield or do you sign Evans? Because you can't get both and keep that defense.
I feel like you gotta extend one and franchise the other.
If you can. I mean,
Baker's got to get the franchise tag, dude. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
The quarterback is more important than a receiver.
Mr. Tampa Bay has to get the long-term contract. He just fucking has to.
He was dropping a lot of crucial passes, though. Imagine if he makes all those passes.
But you got to sign the quarterback. If Baker's playing the way he's playing, he's been playing decent last, like when he was with the Rams, he stepped up a little bit. And this year he had a great year in Tampa.
Well, like somebody just said earlier, despite, and it's not a lot of drops. I mean, in the grand scheme of things and the receptions and the targets and all, it's not really a lot of drops, especially when you count as many touchdowns and the yardage.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody said, I forget who said, but he bailed Baker out a lot.
Oh, he did. And here's the thing I want to say though. I want to get one last thing before we move on to the next game, or exactly 2 points really. Baker did a Baker because that pass was terrible at the end. He should have read that linebacker. He was all over him. Number one. Number two. What are your feelings about the analytics sneaking into the NFL? Would you have kicked that extra point? I know it didn't come into play at the end because of the interception, but what if it did and you have to go for the 2 again? Are you the type of guy still that would kick the extra point and play for the tie, or are you going to go for the analytics and go for the win at the end?
Are you talking about the Cowboy game?
No, I'm talking about the Tampa game where it was 31-17. They went for 2, didn't get it, and they were down 8 with the last possession.
With them being in the playoffs, I think Tampa Bay was playing with house money. Nobody knew that they were going to make the playoffs until the time expired in that game. I mean, why not, man? They didn't have nothing to lose. It was house money. It's kind of like the Green Bay Packers, just in a slightly different situation. I mean, if it was me personally, I would have just kicked the extra point instead of going for 2. I didn't really like the call, but I could see why they went for 2. Because they weren't even supposed to be in that situation. Everything just fell right for them in the last week. So, I mean, Todd Bowles was like, you know what? Season's on the line. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing when Dan Campbell made his decision against the Cowboys. I mean, you play to win the game. Fucking go for it.
3 straight times against the Cowboys, though. That was crazy.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
That was just stupid.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, we're going back to this again, because I would have been down. But, I don't know, man. Like, in the playoffs, you got to do what you got to do to win the fucking game. And you know what I mean? They were doing what they had to
next
do
week if
game,
you lose.
So.
That dude, exactly. Hold on, we gotta highlight Jahmyr Gibbs, bro. Like, hold on, I just thought about it. That touchdown run that he had, and that the All-Pro safety Antoine Winfield Jr. The way he grabbed him by the face mask and threw him on the ground. I respect that dude. Jahmyr Gibbs. That dude's got balls right there, bro. Like, it was 1-on-1. He just slammed him, and he's not even a big running back. He's just fast. He would have been a New York Jet if the Lions didn't take him. Yeah. Hey, speaking of the Jets, my favorite New York Jet currently is Tyler Conklin, bro. Ask me why.
Yo, that's my guy. I love Tyler Conklin. He's a beaut.
Is that his jersey right there? Really?
No, it's got my number on it. But that's the year I was born. But I call it every time Conklin does his thing. I'm like, power of the '83, baby.
Concadon. Well, that's what I called him, Concadon. He looks like a Viking too.
His wife is spicy too. But anyways.
All right, well, let's move on to the AFC as we're getting a little too spicy up in here. The AFC game, we're going to start with the Houston Texans. Talk about another team playing with house money and a rookie quarterback. And he went into Baltimore, and much like the Detroit game, which was tied at 10 in the third quarter, and the fans were kind of like really clinching their butt cheeks, a little bit of that was happening in Baltimore until Baltimore took that opening drive in the second half and never looked back.
I mean, Baltimore did what Baltimore does. I mean, they're a second-half team, have been all year. I mean, you let them, you keep them around, you let them hang around long enough, they will figure out a way to fucking beat you. That's why they were the number one seed in the AFC, man.
Yeah, I mean, early on in the game, like, it was pretty close. It was, 10, maybe 10, 13 and a half?
10 at halftime, yeah.
So, and what did they end up winning? 34-10. So, you know what I mean? That was scoring 24-0 in the second half. Lamar balled out, as usual. I mean, that game, I didn't really think the Texans were going to win. I think everybody in this fucking live had the Ravens winning that. And actually, Randy, I think you took the Texans because you're a fucking idiot.
I took the Texans.
Well, fuck you.
Anyways, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the pick, but, I don't know, bro. The Ravens' defense is just too good. And as me and Randy know, we've seen what C.J. Stroud does against a good defense. Nothing. So, I mean, and, their offense is good. Odell Beckham came back from injury as well. Zay Flowers has been balling out the last few weeks, pretty much all year as well. And, I don't want to say it, but they got Dalvin Cook, too, who had a couple good runs. But, yeah, I wasn't really –
Let's not get it twisted.
Either way.
One fucking
don't get mad.
Not mad. Anytime anybody wants to give that motherfucker some credit when he hasn't fucking earned it, it pisses me off.
It was a 19-yard carry, anyways. But yeah, I think the Ravens just came out and showed out against.
Well, now hold on. Before we move on, I want to play this clip. Speaking of fucking Dalvin Cook,
it's Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and Dalvin Cook is your three. But Baltimore's notorious. Every week, you don't know who's going to get the ball the most.
Yeah, so those guys ain't scaring nobody.
I wouldn't be shocked if Dalvin Cook gets the meat of the carries and gets a couple of touchdowns. I wouldn't be shocked.
Not for nothing. I think Don is up to something because
no, he ain't.
I actually think Cook is going to be the gadget guy. He's going to be the gadget guy.
Go gadget. Take your ass back to the sidelines. You suck.
No, they're tall. Like they're just going to fuck the ball.
That boy's soft as shit nowadays, man. He bounces off mother.
Down. The Dalvin Cook conversation could be that'll be Randy and Eric's side bet. Over under the side bet.
I'll see you guys next week when we talk about Dalvin Cook. Wow, Funny thought that guy was going to leave and be something fucking special. He's the third down fucking back on the Ravens. Like, give me a fucking break. 2 touchdown, bulk of the carry. Nobody's giving Dalvin Cook the bulk of shit.
Now, I get the Cook thing. That's from a scorned Jets fan. But let me just say this real quick. And this is going to be an off-topic kind of remark. It might spice things up talking about spice. But we're talking about Lamar Jackson. Everyone seems to want to hand this dude the MVP. Yeah. What are the Ravens known for since they went to Baltimore? Defense. They won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. They won one with Joe Flacco. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but they're 1-3 with Lamar Jackson. They've gotten to the postseason without Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley. I don't think he deserves to be MVP. His yardage isn't there passing, which is what you want from a quarterback. You saw phenomenal seasons from other players around the league. I'm just not – if I had a vote, it would not go to Lamar. The RPO is too high for me, and he's more of like a dual threat, more like a Kaepernick type of quarterback. He's not your – prototypical pocket passer, or even a Mahomes. Mahomes, look what he's done with way less talent, and look at all the weapons Lamar has around him this year compared to other years. And to me, I still don't buy them, dude. Maybe it's.
You're not wrong about the stats, but who would be your pick for MVP then? Don't say Purdy.
No. I would definitely give it to a team that made the postseason. but you'd have to consider guys like CMC, Josh Allen. Even you could even throw in the receiver.
Hold the fuck up. Why not Brock Purdy?
I don't think you can give it to a quarterback that has over 20 interceptions. I'm just saying, Josh Allen.
But he accounts for 50 of the Bills' touchdowns. Without him, they're nothing.
Yeah, I guess. But Randy, to answer your question, because you take Brock Purdy out of that system,
that's a bullshit fucking
You put any
argument.
other quarterback in that system.
Doesn't matter though, because that's irrelevant. Because that's irrelevant because the numbers.
Yeah, but he's not the most valuable player though. Like you take Christian McCaffrey on that team, it makes a way bigger difference.
You think Sam Darnold could put up the same fucking numbers?
Probably if you gave him a whole year.
Did Jimmy Garoppolo look the same? Was Jimmy Garoppolo the same?
Jimmy Garoppolo kept getting hurt. And it was different. This team is more. They've been together for long. You know what I mean? I said, if you take CMC off that team, it's a way bigger impact than if you take Brock Purdy off.
Which is why he's my MVP.
There's three things that I want to talk about the Ravens real quick, man. Lamar Jackson, I mean, everybody wants to give him the MVP title, but I think that's kind of a curse because it's kind of hard for an MVP to win the Super Bowl. I don't remember the last time the Super Bowl was won by an MVP quarterback.
Mahomes did it last year, was it not?
Was it? I mean, it's kind of rare. I mean, it does happen, but like the odds are kind of against them.
No, you're right.
And then if you take away that kick return from the Houston Texans, the Ravens only give up 3 points to the Houston defense. Yeah, straight defense.
But I mean, anyways, sorry.
I mean, not to take anything away from Lamar, but yeah, I definitely agree. He's not.
Well, I want to jump in one more time, Carlos, and go ahead after me. But who led the league in fumbles? Like they get on Allen all the time for INTs. Who led the league in fumbles? Lamar Jackson.
Was it Lamar?
It was Lamar Jackson.
How many carries does he have though?
Why is your quarterback?
How many fumbles does Josh Allen have?
He doesn't have as much as he has. What is it? He doesn't have as much yards rushing as Lamar.
How many interceptions does Lamar have? Let's see.
And Lamar has
7 interceptions though.
Lamar has a running game behind him, not like Josh Allen. Who's
I mean, James Cook. James Cook is pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say between him and James Cook, because they can run.
And then another thing you could think of, the Ravens running back, it's a week-to-week process. They're always getting injured, too. That's why they signed Dalvin Cook, too.
Okay. Well, finish your point. My bad for breaking in, Carlos.
I was just going to say, man, it's they gave up that kick return for a touchdown. Other than that, it'd be 3 points. What's that?
Josh Allen only has 29 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson has 24, and Josh Allen has 18 picks. Lamar has 7. Yeah, Josh Allen has more passing yards, but look at where Lamar's team is. Look at the record of the team. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you guys about the defense thing, but I don't know. That's just comparing Lamar to Josh Allen. I think I'm just a fucking Josh Allen hater. I know he's good at football, but
you must listen to ESPN because that's all I hear from that station.
But I'm not really too big. I'm not really too big on who wins the MVP title and all that. I really don't care about that type of stuff. I do think that the best team with the best record and all that should get the MVP if it's deserved and all that. But other than that, I really don't care, man.
See, I feel like you take Lamar off the Ravens though,
they still win.
They win, but they won't be
the backup quarterback there.
It's Tyler Huntley, and he has playoff experience thanks to Lamar.
I don't think – no, but I'm saying you take Lamar out at the beginning of the year and you put Tyler Huntley and they wouldn't be – what did they finish, 14-3?
I think they finished 9-8, 10-7.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Anyways.
That's still good enough to make the playoff. Because I mean, look
I don't know about that.
It's still Cleveland. Look, Cleveland did it with 4 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, but
look, as bad as my quarterback is, Geno Smith threw for 3,624 yards. Lamar threw for 3,678. And there's 11 quarterbacks ahead of him.
I think all 100 of our quarterbacks combined threw about 4,000 yards.
So I don't think we still haven't had a quarterback throw for 10 fucking touchdown passes since Ryan Fitzpatrick. Don't worry, that's going to change next year. We said that last year.
Chad Pennington, right? Chad Pennington?
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick was the last one to do it. He threw 30, 35 or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, Kirk Cousins, no, you guys got Aaron Rodgers. You guys think that he's going to come back and light it up?
We're not talking about that right now.
Can't jinx it.
No.
Final thing I got in this game, I want to ask you guys: how scary are the Texans going to be next year in your guys' opinion? With this, without the draft, without anything, do you think they are just as scary as they were this year?
They don't have a first-round pick this year, right?
No.
I still don't think it matters. I think they'll probably win. They won, 10 games this year? I think they'll probably win between 10 to 12 games, win that division again. I think they'll be sweet. You know, they're going to give C.J. Stroud a couple more weapons because I know Nico Collins is good. They have Robert Woods, but Robert Woods is a washed-up fucking bum. So
Tank Dell
is good too.
I got a feeling they're going to end up going after like a T. Higgins.
Well, they do need a running back too. I guess Damon Pierce is good.
I think Derrick Henry's going to end up in Houston. I really do.
I think they need a couple more pieces on defense, and
I think the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to probably be the two most active teams in free agents this offseason.
Could be. They have the cap room.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't think the Texans are going to be as good as they were next year as they were this year, only because they're going to have a first schedule. They're going to have a first. That's the only reason, right? They're going to have all the number one seeded teams from this past season, and they're going to play them this upcoming year.
That's why I feel like they're going to try and stack themselves.
Could be a sophomore slump too. You got to hope that doesn't happen because I like Stroud, dude.
He proved,
but it's been proven that Houston, their Achilles heel right now. If anything, like if you take away, the defense could be a little better. I'm sure they're gonna address that. But really, the Achilles heel for Houston is a lack of a running game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just love the coaching because I said it before on our
D'Amico Ryan's a special brother.
He is. Literally, they had the backup quarterback in there. What's his name again? Carlos
Keenum.
Yeah, Keenum had thrown a pick 6 against the Titans in a game they needed to win, and he had a smile on his face as a dude was running the touchdown back. I'm like, why is he smiling? He comes over there to Keenum and is like, hey, man, I believe in you. You got this. Get us down there and score. We're going to stop him. And he did, and Keenum went down there, and the first one to hug Keenum when they took the lead was freaking D'Amico Ryan. So, he has faith in every one of his players. It shows, and that dude's a good coach.
That's what a player coach does, though. That's the same thing Dan Campbell's doing. Guys that actually played on the football field turned into good coaches. That's what they do.
Like Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh didn't play football.
I'm just fucking kidding, Randy.
Mr. Clean.
Fucking joke.
Shut up!
I'm gonna just said something. Hey, don't say Mr. Clean, bro. Come on, bro.
Mr. Clean.
By the way, if they were to do a movie about the Jets this year, do you think we can get Groot to play Robert Saleh? No?
Asshole.
I am Saleh. So let's move on to the next AFC game, which was a doozy, man. And again,
oh boy,
we're going to get into the Josh Allen talk here in a second. But the Kansas City Chiefs, he has Mahomes is 1-3 against Allen during the regular season, but come postseason he was 3-0 against them, and I think he went 4-0 this week. And some people aren't calling this a rivalry. I still think it is because you keep meeting in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Brett Favre took 4 losses on the chin before he beat Dallas finally. So this is one that was. God damn it. It had to go wide right, for Buffalo?
No, don't say God damn it. That was the most fucking great thing that ever happened ever.
Before we get into this, I got a clip.
Oh, that looks great. I told you guys the Bills are winning the Super Bowl, and I just got that shit tattooed. Bills Super Bowl 58 champions. And when they win the Super Bowl, not only am I going to win a shit ton of money, I'm going to solidify myself as the greatest sports bettor of all time.
I'm speechless, bro. I got nothing to say.
I just don't get why people keep fucking doing that shit every year, you morons.
Hey, one thing about that tattoo is you can just put a nice little line and it'll be for the number 4 because he's got the 3 to 4.
I was telling everybody the guy. Even though it was stupid, he knew what he was doing. It was small, thin black lines. He fucking takes the laser with that. Nobody even know he had it.
I thought the guy looked like David Arquette.
He did. He did look like David Arquette. I'm telling you, though, I had a friend that did the Seahawks 2 Super Bowls. He did that before they had reached the playoffs in 14. So he already had like the 2 Super Bowls with a Seattle Space Needle going through the middle. I'm like, ooh, that's bold, man. That's colored in and everything. It's hard to cover up.
Yeah.
But
but you know what? I'm happy Buffalo lost, even though I thought they were going to win, man. I mean,
told you, Randy.
If history, I mean, I know it wasn't the Super Bowl, but man, when they say history repeats itself, it really fucking does. I mean, it couldn't go, of all things, it couldn't just go left this one time.
Okay, real quick though.
Straight in, it just curved. Like, I don't know how it
happened. There was a kick earlier in the game. I think it was the first kick that he made. It was from like 30 yards, maybe shorter. He kicked it, and he almost missed that one because it went the same way. So, you know what I mean? Like, it was fuck, bro. I still
you guys believe there's a curse? Do you guys really? But I'm starting to believe that there is curses in sports, man. I really.
Bro, they lost 4 straight Super Bowls. After the second one, I would have fucking offed myself. There's no way. Like 4, bro. Like, are you kidding me?
I believe Joe Namath sold his soul that the Jets won't win a Super Bowl until that motherfucker's dead.
I mean, at least we got one though. Like, fuck, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you're gonna be a fan of a team that lost 4 straight Super Bowls, especially living through that.
You would think with the Bills, you would think fate would give you fucking one, dude. Just one.
And then people keep talking about like the rivalry, saying it's like Mahomes Allen is like Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning. Fuck that. It's more like Brady versus Phillip Rivers because Josh Allen ain't win shit. Like,
no, yeah, it's. Oh, go ahead, Carlos.
I was just gonna ask the question because I know that they lost to the Bengals at home in that snow game, and then they just lost this game to the Chiefs at home in the playoffs. So, like, does home field advantage even matter for the Buffalo Bills? It's kind of, I'm going back to the curse.
I don't know. I mean, it's like North Jet says, you know, for it to be a true rivalry, you have to have teams win at least back and forth. But in this one, it's one-sided. I think it's more of a rivalry for the Bills because they want to get over that hump. And I remember watching those, to go to Randy's point, you'd think they'd get one Super Bowl. I mean, I remember the 4th Super Bowl where they actually had a halftime lead against Dallas. I'm like, this is gotta be fucking it. They're gonna win. And they didn't score a point the second half. They got blown out.
But the funny thing is, like, in their training facility, they have a fucking big Lombardi trophy fucking up above their practice field. I'm like, yo, you motherfuckers only have one. Get the shit out of there. Like,
I would have loved to have got my hands on some of that merchandise that goes to third world countries.
Bro, those kids are probably like, man, the Buffalo Bills must be good. They won 4 straight Super Bowls, huh? Like,
they'll be like, I'm going to America to watch the greatest team of all time.
They're looking at their shirt like this Buffalo looks like Buffalo.
That's so bad. These kids are fucking loving those fucking 4-peat Super Bowl champion shirts.
What'd you guys think about that pump fake?
Oh, bro, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Let's give the ball to a fucking guy that died a year ago on a fake punt that hasn't played a snap. Like, what the hell is that, bro? Like, if you're going to give it to somebody who runs, like, you're going to give it to DeMar Hamlin, like, fuck off. You deserve to lose the game.
I think that was like DeMar Hamlin's first playoff fucking season, dude.
He had some snaps, but first time he touched the ball.
And then on that one where Josh Allen tried throwing for that touchdown, he underthrew him, or like the pass was awkward and it hit the floor, right? But he had Stephon Diggs running wide open. I think that Josh Allen didn't trust Stephon Diggs after he dropped that beautiful dime that he threw to Stephon Diggs. It hit him right. That's why I think he didn't throw it to him on that short little drag route.
That was a bad drop, bro. Like, you're gonna cause a scene last year and put your arms up and chirp and shit, and then you're gonna drop that. Like, that was a game-changing play. Like, that would have changed the game for sure. Yeah. And then another thing I want to bring up real quick because no one else brought it up, Randy, Mecole fucking Hardman. That was a fucking joke, loser. Bro. Okay, but first of all, that rule is the stupidest rule ever. That fumble and it goes out of the end zone. The touchback is stupid as hell. They need to figure something else out because that's just dumb. But I just think it's hilarious that he actually fumbled.
Where would they get the ball?
I mean, I guess, but like
at the 1.
I don't know. Put it at like the 5.
Okay,
or put it back at the 10. I don't know, make them pay for it.
You would give them the ball back, the team that fumbled it, instead of forward progress, or would you give it back to the defense?
Okay, so in my opinion, it sounds stupid, but if say you fumble it and it goes out of the back of the end zone, they should get a penalty for it and move back. Like, I don't know, because it's a rare occurrence, right? So
that's very rare. Yeah.
Making like a 15-yard penalty because you'd be down at the 1, right? But if that happens, you're down back at the 15. And I think that would be interesting because I don't know, bro. That changes. That has changed a lot of outcomes of a lot of games.
What if instead of switching it all around, that you know how a safety costs 2 points when you give up a safety? What if they reward the offense 2 points instead of going through the process of let's give it to them?
No way, because then they'd just be chucking the ball through the fucking pile.
As long as it's not intentional. No,
I feel like you got to get punished for it because you're still fumbling the ball. Because you know how you fumble the ball out and the ball just falls out of bounds, they give it back to the offense. I feel like in this case you got to get punished for it. So I don't know. It's a stupid rule. They're not going to change it. I don't know. Maybe Josh Allen will do it when
that happens. Just treat it like not so much just giving the points like you would as a safety, but like the outcome of a safety. Where if you fumble it, now you got to punt it and give them a chance to get run it back and maybe get some really good field position rather than just get it at the fucking 20.
Since we're on the rule change, you know which rule should have never changed and stayed as is? The push out. Because cornerbacks they're getting burnt and all they got to do is just come from behind and shove a wide receiver out of bounds and that pass never gets completed.
Well, I think the receivers already get enough love as it is. I mean, they're able to just walk into a defender and it's pass interference. They trip on feet. I think they should have kept that.
Sauce Gardner.
I think what they should have did is kept that rule after the Saints-Rams where you can review a couple of those per game because those are costly, dude. You want to talk about, a 3rd and 15 because the Seahawks are notorious for doing this. Pass interference on a 5-yard out pattern or that's on the other side of the ball or they give up a 50-yard penalty. It turns into a 50-yard penalty. And getting back to what Northjet said real quick on that, say for instance, that was a 10-yard run before he fumbled out of bounds. Shoot. Okay. So 10 yards from where the play started. So you're backed up to the 25. I could see that. But that would kill certain teams, but you're not destroying them as far as taking because that essentially would have put the game away right there.
If the Chiefs scored, because they were already up by 3, right? It would have been a 10-point lead.
It would have been.
And like I said, at that point, I was right when they got that close. I was like, the game's fucking over. There's no way. But I don't know. Like I said, it's 2-way street, right? Like a rule, like you said, it ruins the game, but. I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to change it. Like I said, unless Josh Allen fumbles at the one and he cries about it, then they'll change it.
I will. But, no, Pat Mahomes.
Wait. Patrick Mahomes is the one that cries.
Was it Patrick Mahomes? See, I just don't like Josh Allen.
Oh, okay. Because one thing I lost.
New York Jet colors, you love that dude, man. The way that dude can light it up. That dude's got a cannon. I'd take him in a heartbeat as a Viking fan.
Well, bro, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted him. But then once we fucking drafted Darnold, I was like, all right. Whatever, we skipped on fucking Lamar too, but anyways, at least they didn't draft Josh Rosen. Anyways,
real quick though, I would here's one thing though. If you're gonna change that touchback rule, you have to eliminate the push, the tush push, the brotherly shove. That shit sucks.
Man, I can't get behind that. See, that whole tush push thing is stupid because other teams have tried it and they have not been able to do it. So why are you gonna make one team that can do it well get punished for it? That's just, you know what I mean? I just don't think it's right. Like the Eagles, there's been other teams that have done it and they just can't do it as good as the Eagles are doing.
But that play was not legal up until a few years ago. Like I don't know what changed between then, but you can go as far as back as watching the Ice Bowl when Bart Starr tried to score that touchdown. The running back couldn't touch him. He was putting his hands up like this. Like you can't touch the quarterback. You can't push. And that was in the league.
Yeah, I kind of remember that where if you assisted somebody going forward, it was a flag.
It was a penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's stupid. It's football, man. That's
a good question. When did that fucking change?
I don't know.
They're kind of
it's like they just stopped calling it. I don't even think it changed. I think they just stopped calling it.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then why don't they fucking ban when everybody piles up and pushes the line forward? It's the same thing.
The refs like to. Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's the same situation.
Yeah.
I just like I agree with you. That play it's unstoppable. But
Oh,
like
I
I said,
say we just put on dresses and wear flags and say fuck
but
it.
yeah, but like I said, it's not like every team is doing it. It's not like it's ruining the game. And just saying, the fucking Philadelphia Eagles, the team that do it, aren't even in the fucking playoffs anymore. So, you know what I mean?
Well, that moves us on. As we get to the Final Four, there's much to debate, but there's two games right here that we're going to focus in on. We're going to focus in on that one right above my shoulder right there. Lamar Jackson meets Pat Mahomes for the first time in the postseason. The Chiefs coming off what everyone was saying the entire postseason, the end of the regular season, the Chiefs are the most vulnerable they've ever been. And the Ravens are so unstoppable, yet the Chiefs are putting on an impromptu playoff run. And Baltimore, they haven't really done it for me yet. So I don't know if you guys are impressed by them. We kind of touched on that a little bit, but who do you guys give the favor in this matchup?
Oh, bro. For some weird fucking reason, I think the Chiefs might honestly win the whole fucking thing. Just because of like, I don't want to say script and all that bullshit, but that's why. You know what I mean? I just feel like it would be fucking awesome. Like I don't know about you guys, but I don't mind Mahomes. I know a lot of people are fucking annoyed with him and like the whole ref bullshit and the Taylor Swift thing. Like I was annoyed with it when they played the Jets, and Randy knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. That's why they lost. But anyways, I don't know, bro. I don't mind. I have nothing against Mahomes. I think it'd be sick to see another quarterback like the Tom Brady like come into the league and win. This will be his third Super Bowl if they win. So, but I don't know. I think the Chiefs might squeak it out, bro. I think they might squeak it out. Like I said, they have the refs on their side too, and clearly, like we were talking about, home field advantage doesn't really matter to fucking Mahomes. You know what I mean? And I think I saw a stat: the last like 5 times Mahomes has played the Ravens, he's thrown for like 250 and like 4 or 5 touchdowns every game. So but the Ravens are a whole new team this year. So, but like I said, I for some reason I think the Chiefs are going to squeak it out. Everybody's going to get pissed because, like, even me, I didn't think they were going to be in the Super Bowl this year. Same thing as last year. Nobody thought that, and look what happened. But they have the whole NFL on their back. So
I think this is where the Chiefs. I think this is where it all comes to an end for them. They just don't have the firepower to keep up with that Ravens defense. The Ravens are a second half team, so even if they can keep this close, 10, 13, 13, 16, 13 at halftime, whatever, they're going to open it up on the other end of halftime, bro. Like the Ravens are the real deal. Like you get, even if Lamar Jackson throws for $150, I promise he's probably going to rush for $1. So, like, the Chiefs aren't going to have an answer for this one, man. I mean, the Ravens' defense, the Ravens got more offensive firepower. I mean, outside of Rice, who the fuck is? I mean, and Kelsey, who's doing much of anything for Kansas City?
Tony.
Who? There is Tony, please. And even Kelsey's not having the greatest of seasons, as far as he's concerned. I tried to count out the Ravens, with the Texans coming to town. I thought the Texans can maybe upset them, but boy, I was wrong. And man, I'm not picking against the Ravens this time. I just think they're the real deal, and I just think it's come down to the Niners and the Ravens in the Super Bowl, man.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna just go with Mahomes, bro. Like I want to pick the Ravens. I want to see something new, but it's just Isaiah Pacheco. Once he gets going, he's a motor that does not stop. That dude, and then the play action could open up too. The Ravens defense could trap, but then again, that Ravens defense is pretty nasty. It's really, really nasty. I just don't trust those Raven receivers as much as I do Mahomes, bro. Like Mahomes is something different. Mahomes, he's earned the respect of everybody, and if he does it if he does another road win, bro, he did the 4th coldest game in NFL history, and then he went into Buffalo, beat Josh Allen again, and then if he goes into Baltimore, beats the MVP. That solidifies him as probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks of all time. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Well, bro, you got to figure he's been in 6 straight AFC championship games. Every year he started, he's been in an AFC championship game. Like that's like, bro, we're like, I hate to say it, but we might be witnessing like a modern day fucking Tom Brady. And like no one ever thought
Tom Brady just retired. What do you mean a modern day?
Yeah, but like I'm saying like now.
I know.
That's the baton. That's the baton to Patrick Mahomes.
For like the youngsters on this show, for me it was like Montana had he not gotten hurt because he got hurt in between those Super Bowls.
Who's Montana? No, I'm just kidding.
That's right.
Shut the fuck up.
But I'm just saying,
Montana.
the Niners would have been there every year, AFC Championship. So yes, this is unprecedented. He's setting a mark for something truly great. It's furthering his legacy and also the big walrus over there in Kansas City. So I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I'm sticking to my guns. I haven't believed in Baltimore all year, and I'm not gonna start now. And I think we're gonna see a Swifty Super Bowl.
Oh fuck!
Oh, why do you have to say that shit?
Oh my god!
And just pray we don't see a brother Mahomes dance at the end of the game.
Who has the Super Bowl this year? Does CBS have the Super Bowl?
CBS does, yes, they do.
Oh fuck! So we gotta listen to fucking Tony Romo jerk off Pat Mahomes all night. Oh,
yeah, you gotta listen to him laugh.
Oh,
you gotta listen to him.
Here's a guy.
And you got to hear Jim Nantz with his boring, like it could be one of the most spectacular plays. He's like, yeah, that's a third down right there.
Oh, bro, I noticed that when the Jets played the Browns on third. Or wait, was it? Yeah, I don't remember. Can't remember. But either way, yeah, he's a bum. Anyway.
Yeah, it sucks. So it's going to be a gritty game, but let's move on to the NFC game because this one to me has more. I mean, look, you got legacy, you got Lamar. But then you got Detroit, man. You got to get that fan base we talked about at the beginning of the show, and you got the 49ers trying to get over that hump. Again, since the salary cap, this team, Dallas gets crushed all the time for not even making an NFC championship game. But they haven't won shit in 29 years. Neither have the 49ers. They've been to 2 Super Bowls, but they 0-2. They ruined that perfect streak that they had prior. So they're looking to establish something. This has got to be the year. I said this in the beginning of the season. If the Niners don't win the Super Bowl, I mean, how can they not? This is the year where they're not going to get any more talented, more coached up than what they are right now. They are at their peak. But can Detroit get in there with a pass rush and a run game and give Goff time to throw? Do they pull the upset?
See, man, fuck. I don't, like I said, you guys know, like I said, I'm from the area, so I mean, the way they have been playing all year, bro, has shocked the shit out of me. Like, even from week 1, they came out there, smacked the Chiefs in the mouth, ruined their ring celebration, and they won. And, you know what I mean? All year, they've been dominating. Their offense has been playing great. Goff has been playing balls to the wall football. Jameer Gibbs is playing good. David Montgomery's a stud. Amon St. Brown, Sam Laporte. Like, fuck, bro. Aiden Hutchinson. Like, they're stacked. And, like, I feel like if there's a team that's going to take down the 49ers, I don't think the Lions can beat the Ravens, but I think they can beat the Chiefs. But I think if there's any team that's going to beat the 49ers, it's going to be the Lions. And I don't know, bro. Some part of me feels like there's going to be an upset, and the Detroit fucking Lions are going to be in the Super Bowl. And it's going to be absolute mayhem. And, like, I don't know. I think it's going to be a very close game, but I think it comes down to, like, a field goal. And, yeah, shock the world.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see the Niners going back-to-back weeks where they can't produce a pass rush. I mean, nothing to take away from the Lions. Like I said, I've been on that bandwagon all year. Good football team, great football coach, but the Niners, they're more battle tested, they're more playoff tested. They're just in my opinion, they're the more talented team, and I just think they're going to give it. They're going to give it to the Lions. I honestly don't think it might even be that close. I think the Niners win this one 31-17.
Okay.
Damn.
All right.
This one I want to pick the Lions really, really bad. Even though I hate the Lions, I just think that if you can get to Brock Purdy, he's prone to make mistakes. Man, he's a mistake away. He got lucky that Savage didn't get that interception and whoever else didn't get the interception. I think it was
2 times.
Yeah. 2 times. I think it might have even been 3 interceptions that were dropped. So he was lucky in them terms. But, man, my mind just keeps going back to how Jared Goff, when he was the LA Rams quarterback, how he could never get past that Shanahan defense. They had Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator first, and then they had DeMeco Ryans, and now they're still a really good defense. And it's still the same Jared Goff, man. But the 49ers do choke just like the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, bro. Like every single year we keep going to this is the year, and they just can't put the nail in the coffin and get it together. But I'm just going based on Jared Goff. He won't be able to get past Shanahan this year again, bro. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
I want to say we're going to get a rematch of Week 1, like North Jet said, with the Lions Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But I think only the AFC is going to come out the way I think the Chiefs. I thought the best chance for the Niners to lose in the playoffs was last week. Being a little rusty. I just don't think Detroit has it in them. Like I think Carlos has been saying it all year. Their secondary is very suspect. Their defense tends to give up 20 or more at times. This might be the get-right game in the championship for the Niners. And so I'm predicting a Niners-Chiefs rematch.
Well, another thing, too, you got to look at the last 2 games the Lions have played. They almost lost both games against the Rams and the Bucs.
That's a great point. The Lions probably should have lost to the Rams.
Yeah.
But they probably should have lost to the Bucs, too. Like, there was a play early on in the game. Jared Goff threw an interception in the end zone, and Buddy dropped it. I mean, there's a lot of
Neil.
That's why I can't go against the Niners in this one.
Like I said, I agree with what you guys are saying, and I know it's going to probably be Ravens Niners. That's what the NFL wants. But like I said, I just something about it, man. I don't fucking know. I feel like God's going to just say "fuck you, Jay," and then he's going to put the Lions in the Super Bowl, and then that way. For the next fucking until the Jets get there, all these Lions fans that I know are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, when's the last time the Jets made it this far?" I'm like, "Oh well, fuck you, they haven't." So I don't know, bro. My luck, it's gonna happen. But like I said, I do think it'll be like Ravens, Niners, but I just have a fucking weird feeling, man. It's a weird vibe. Maybe it's because I live right there and I'm around it. That could be a very big reason why. Like I literally see it every day and I hear it. I fucking walk out my door and I see fucking Lions jerseys, and so I can see Ford Field from my apartment window. So
I'll say this, man: if you're a Lions fan, even if you do lose this game, don't be discouraged. Like I said earlier on the show, man, they're gonna be good for a while.
Yeah, they're gonna be good, bro.
They kind of had a cupcake walk to the NFC Championship. If you think about it, they had.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah, they did.
And then the Buccaneers. I mean, are they a little overrated, or what do you guys think?
See, I wanted the Packers to beat the Niners.
It's hard to call any team in the NFC South overrated because it's like from one year to the next. Like one team could be last place, and the very next year that last place team could be first place, and that first place team could be in last place. Like the whole division. We'll just put it. The whole division's fucking overrated.
What division? Wait, whose division?
NFC South.
Oh,
they need a horrible division. It sucks.
Yeah, they need a realignment.
I mean, it's one of those divisions going in. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter who was good last year. You go into a whole new year, and you could pick a whole new division winner. It's just like, oh,
wait, who's in the South again? The Niners, Seahawks.
No, the South.
No, that's the West. That's the West.
That's the West.
Sorry.
South is Saints, Panthers, Atlanta, and.
Oh, you're talking about the South. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the division that the Niners are in.
No, I don't want to look. Going into work, there's a bunch of people at my job, and majority of them, for some reason, are Cowboy fans and Niner fans. And when the Cowboys lost, man, you could hear the Niner fans ribbing them, and the Cowboy fans just half of them didn't show up that Monday. And I was kind of hoping we were going to have this week too, So.
What the Cowboy fans bring it on themselves. They talk so much fucking shit.
So do the Niners, though. The Niners.
Yeah, my best friend's a big Cowboys fan.
You gotta understand, Cowboys fan, we're America's team. I mean, Niners don't even have that. I mean,
they're doing it with that.
So fucking. I mean, other than the Seattle Mariners, you're talking about fucking fans that that hold on to a year that didn't even result in a fucking championship. I mean,
see, in my opinion. The worst fans I've dealt with in the NFL are honestly the Dolphins fans. They're the fucking worst.
Yeah, they're similar to Cowboys fans. Like you guys act like but you haven't fucking done shit in over 30 goddamn years.
It hasn't been 30 years because the last time they won the Super Bowl was 1995, and I'm only 28 years old. That's when I was born.
Okay,
so
29 years. I'm sorry.
Either way, bro, they were
dominant years next year.
Okay, but still,
you think the Cowboys are winning next year? No.
Look, I have nothing
against.
Fucking
fucking know, bro.
I do.
I thought maybe they do it this year, dude. Like you never know with football, man. But the Cowboys were relevant, so I get where all their fans came from. You know,
back in the day.
salary cap. That's the only reason they won it, because there was no salary cap back then.
Yep,
man.
yep. That's why the Niners and them were able to stay together.
Well, you can't say that. That's bullshit. It's the rules. You know what I mean?
But still,
they were a stacked. They were a stacked fucking team in the '90s, though, man.
Oh yeah, they kept all. There's a reason why half that offensive line, if not all of it, for the Cowboys went to the Hall of Fame. Charles Haley has 6 Super Bowls.
In today's NFL, there's no way they would have been able to keep that entire offensive line together.
Oh hell, they wouldn't have been able to keep Emmitt Smith.
After the Super Bowl alone, I guarantee some of those guys would have fucking gone to go get paid somewhere else.
Look, yeah, and I'll tell you this right now. Look, Sean Alexander should be in the Hall of Fame, but the left side that got him all those yards was 2 guys who are on the Hall of Fame. And I believe you could have plugged any running back behind that Dallas Cowboy freaking offensive line with Moose Johnston back there too. What the hell? You're easily going to – I mean, it's a shame Emmett didn't rush for 2,000 yards. Imagine if they had Barry Sanders behind that line.
Walter Payton.
Oh, man. Curtis Martin. What?
Brees Hall. No, I'm just kidding.
Dalvin Cook.
Oh,
no, shut the fuck up. Le'Veon Bell. Like, fuck me.
All right.
Yeah.
By the way, last thing, I have nothing against the Dolphins, but I can't stand those old farts that are still alive from the perfect season. That toast every year. It's like, dude, get over it.
They still live on that. Isn't that their only Super Bowl win? No, they won 2, right?
Yeah.
But still, they still live on that. Oh, we have a perfect season. All right, Dolphins fans, go fuck yourself.
That's Dolphins fans, because they got 3 years on it since the last time they won a fucking Super Bowl.
Bro, and they still haven't won a playoff game. They're like, oh, we make the playoffs. Okay, honestly,
24 fucking years.
I'm gonna say something crazy. I'm gonna say something crazy, and this might sound stupid. I'm gonna go fuck what you guys say, but in my opinion, I would rather not make the playoffs every year than get my fucking heart ripped out and my hopes high and lose every year in the first round. I don't know if that's crazy or not, but it's just, I don't know.
I mean, after 2 or 3 times, yeah, I could see that.
Like you know what I mean? Like, you get to the playoffs every year, and you're like, oh, maybe this is the year, and then every year after year, you lose.
But then that would show that your coaches, you got like, you don't really have that good coaches or GMs, because you guys aren't hitting on your draft picks. You're not making the playoffs.
I mean, or we lose a Hall of Fame quarterback. But anyways, yeah.
Or you have 34 quarterbacks like the Cleveland Browns over the last few years. Still can't get in.
Hey, they drafted Johnny Manziel. That should have been the next best thing to happen in Cleveland since LeBron James, according to Skip Bayless. One of the coldest takes I've ever seen in my goddamn life. That's a fact, by the way. He said that.
Dude, people thought Johnny Manziel and Jordan Lynch were going to be the best quarterbacks coming out of that fucking draft. Like,
I love Johnny Manziel.
And to this day, I'm still proud to fucking say the best quarterback to come out of that goddamn draft was Derek fucking Carr. Lick my balls.
I can't remember who else came out of that draft, but what draft was that? 2013? No, that would have been like yeah, it would have been 2014 maybe.
14, yeah.
But I don't know. I was on the Johnny Manziel hype train. I loved him. I was pumped when the Browns drafted him. I knew he wasn't going to be good in the NFL because of the way he played.
I knew for sure he wasn't going to be
good. He was too small, and the way he played, the defenders are too fast. So, but I like him in college was a baller. Like the whole fucking money thing. I thought that was fucking hilarious. And then he played in the CFL. Shout out. But,
yeah. So any final thoughts going in here to the Final Four?
No, just fuck Dalvin Cook.
Bro, who cares?
Hey, watch, he's gonna rush for like
I care. Fuck him.
He's gonna rush for like.
Everybody wanted to talk about how he was gonna go to Baltimore and fucking light it up, and he had fucking 8 carries, and he had
didn't
one
say that. Whoever said he was gonna light it up.
I'm just saying, a lot of people did. A lot of Jet fans. Oh my god, we let him
go.
He's gonna go to Baltimore.
What have we learned? What have we learned about fucking Jet fans this year? They're fucking stupid as hell. Like, I don't go fuck. So we can say whatever we want. Jets fans are stupid as shit.
They can be. They can be.
It can be, yeah. I mean, fuck, I'm a Jets fan, so clearly say something.
I think every fan base, I don't know what the Skull Zones is with the Vikings, but I think every fan base has one half that they just can't despise, that they can't stand. Like for me as a Seahawks fan, I hate the 12s because they always think the grass is always green no matter what.
So hold on, wait a minute. In Seattle, so that's what it is, that you got half the fan base is the 12s and the other just...
Others are just realistic Seahawk fans.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you guys were divided like that.
No, we're divided just like
I thought 12s represented everybody.
Mm-mm.
No shit.
Viking fans, you got it right down the middle. You either love Kirk Cousins or you can't stand Kirk Cousins. I can't stand Kirk Cousins. I'm against Kirk Cousins because everybody knows that he can't get the job done in prime time, and one playoff win in 12 years or whatever it is. And his defenders are always coming to his aid like, oh, that's because the defense isn't that good. He didn't have offensive line. Like, dude, he's been in the NFL for 12 freaking years, and they turned the other cheek, the blind eye to the one playoff win. And I'm like, funny how Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud had the same amount of playoff wins as Kirk Cousins does, and they're both in their first playoff run, and they can't stand that. They're like, man, we've seen this for like the 700th time, but they have no other response, bro.
Shit, Mark Sanchez had like 6 playoff wins, and he was in the NFL for 2 years by that time.
Yeah. They ignore that one though. Like I can't stand some of these Viking fans, though, bro. I can't wait for fucking Kirk Cousins to retire, bro. I'm sick of that, dude. I hope he leaves that.
Bro,
man.
I said the Vikings would be a good spot for our boy Zach
Wilson.
Yeah,
They say that he might end up there. There's a possible landing spot.
I know, bro. I said that earlier. Like, fuck. I think I said that like week or 16 or something right on my show.
Watch us get a 3rd-round pick out of Minnesota too, baby. Come on,
dude. That I think I said that too. I think
got Joe Douglas, baby. Better watch out. Ask Todd about Joe Douglas.
I think that's the max we can get for him.
Hey,
as a third.
The last New York Jet quarterback that came to Minnesota almost got us our first Super Bowl, man. Brett Favre.
Oh, this motherfucker.
Zach Wilson, he might. Favre in 08 to 09. He was a Jet.
Yeah, until he threw that.
Zach Wilson might actually work out.
He was like half a Jet.
That's the reason why I became a fucking Jets fan, bro. Look it up top right there, number 4. Let's go, baby.
Brett Favre.
I'm not gonna lie, like
you see right there. Look,
I jizzed my pants when we traded for Brett Favre. Like, how could you not?
By the way,
who was the OG?
By the way, who did they lose to his final game as a Jet?
The Dolphins.
Nope. Seahawks.
Yeah. No.
That was the final game of the season?
Yeah, final game of the season up in Seattle.
I don't know about that, bro. I could have sworn it was the Dolphins.
Man, I remember the Jets started off that year in 2008. Didn't they start off like 8-2 or something like that?
They were 8-3. 8-3.
Yeah. And we beat the undefeated Titans at the time.
Yep.
And then from there, it was Brett Favre fucked his shoulder up, didn't disclose it, and it was just down from there.
Yep. Yeah,
that's why to this day I don't forgive Brett Favre. Fuck
they were 8-3 and they finished 8-8, and then he started sending dick pics to that cheerleader.
I bet you that was the curse right there. We just didn't know it yet, dude, because it hadn't hit the fan.
I used to when me and Carlos used to really get on each other about football. I sent him that Jim Rome clip of Brett Favre throwing the pick across the field.
That's all right. That's all right, because I'll get you back when the Seahawks got taken out by the Atlanta Falcons the year before they won the Super Bowl. Matt Bryant.
Or you could just send him a picture of Garrett Wilson and Elijah Vera Tucker a few times. It'll get his memory a little. What
he got me with was as soon as Malcolm Butler, he would send me that stupid fucking video or GIF like over and over.
Oh, that's tough.
I would call this dude because you know how over here in the East Coast, Midwest, we're like 3 hours ahead of time. I've been like, it's 9 o'clock over here. It's like 8 o'clock over here. It's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna give him a call. I'm gonna just give him a first reminder. I've been like, hey, did the Seahawks win?
I'm like, fuck you. It's 5 a.m., dude.
I blow his phone up though. I call him like a good 30 times.
He called me one time. He's like, hey man, oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna do. Oh yeah, Malcolm Butler, the Patriot. I'm like, fuck you.
Savage.
Yeah, so that's our show, Unfiltered Sports, as we talk everything under the sun. But right now we're focused in on the NFC and AFC championship games as we're going to close this show out. Check out.
Carlos, you ever see one of those before? No. I
have. hey, some fans don't need material to be fans, man.
Oh shit!
We're not gold diggers, you know. We see value in great things.
Respect.
Well, if you like what you've heard or seen on this show, check out One Jets Pod. Check out Unfiltered Sports. We're going to be bringing this content all the time. Kudos to Randy setting everything up. He's the mastermind behind all the good-looking graphics and anything that you'll see on One Jets Pod. Even if you're not a Jets fan, which I'm not, I tune in. It's a great show. They break it down like no other.
Appreciate it. No, yeah, just thanks for everybody for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, smash that bell notification. I don't know if we're going to send this over to audio eventually, but if we do, thanks for listening all the way to end. Follow 5-star. You know how it is.
And check out Skull Zone over there on Facebook or on YouTube. Check out his channels. He breaks down the Minnesota Vikings like no other and has a bunch of random shit up there as well, if whatever's on his mind. So there you go.
Plug your shit, Jay.
Yeah, you guys can check me out on YouTube at JJetsX and Twitter at JJetsX. Me and Randy actually been doing weekly shows, weekly recaps. We're doing a show tomorrow actually at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a recap of the divisional round and preview the championship week. But, yeah, hashtag NorthJet, and look out for me on Twitter at JJetsX.
There you go. All right. For everybody, have a good one.